guys that really love tire changing, we got a treat for you. I'm going to change all these tires right here, non-stop all the way through. Check it out. Okay, we got our first one. We have a wheel we need to just put a tire on. It's going on to this Honda next to us here. And so, have you ever listened to those, when you go to sleep on YouTube, they have like thunderstorm music playing for like 8 hours straight. So I was thinking I could have tire changing for hours straight. That's what I kind of came up with this idea. So we have a grip of tires, and Donnie's like, hey, we could just film straight through time lapse. And I'm like, but time lapse, no one's learning anything. So this way, so I loop the tire, valve core in.
This is a nightmare for a lot of people, Jay. It's not pleasurable.
So in our opening scene, you saw all the tires. I think it's going to be around 9 or so, maybe 10. Okay, I think it's 10. So okay, so we'll put this on. We flip it. So in this style, we knock the rim off like that. Is that how you do it, Cade?
Yep, that's how I do it.
Okay. You do it the same way the Dunlop guys taught you?
Yes.
That's probably how Scotty did it, right?
That is how he did it.
What do you say to guys, Jay, that do the other technique where they don't knock the bead off of both sides of the rim?
Yeah, it's like it just wears your hands out. First of all, you just couldn't do it regularly. And then last one, I cut my leg underneath, push it up, and just like that. Okay, so we'll fill this one up. Get this one out of here.
That wheel looks like it's from the turn of the century.
It's just been a bit used. Not bad. Okay. And this is a Honda wheel. So in Hondas, a lot of guys don't realize that you have to need to run this little black rubber piece. A little bit of spit in there. And then we'll set pressure. 13 is about, kind of a good starting point for most guys. Depending upon where you're riding, we can be as low as 12, up as high as 14 if you're out in the desert or whatever. This will get you a good starting point. You can be all over that. Okay. All right, there you go, Kate. He's got that one. So we're just going to start knocking them out here. Here's a rear that's missing a spoke, I just determined. How cool is that? So I just felt that as I picked it up here, it's missing a spoke. Brand new. Looks like this is like a 350 wheel, right?
Yes, Husky 350.
Yeah. Okay. They let it get way too loose. This is Don, Swap Moto Live. I don't know who's in charge of their maintenance fleet. We'll see. Not me or Kate, right?
No.
Okay.
Check your spokes every night.
Before you go to bed. Even if you don't ride that day, right?
Every day.
Every day. Okay, so air's all, got the core all the way out. Knock the bead off like so. Okay, and then same thing over here. You know how to do tire stickers, Kate?
I do, yes.
We'll get you set up. I think that tray, maybe pull all the parts out of that tray and then set it over here, and you can set the wheel on there when you put tire stickers on. Just grab some contact cleaner and a rag. Okay, so this is just like this, push your body against it for that last little bit and then pop off. Tire stand like this. Guys ask, you can make your own. I'll email you the instructions. We got a problem here. I don't have the right tire. I'm missing a tire. So we're going to have to take a small commercial break. I'm putting the core back in the tube here. I had 100. I had the wrong size tire there. Okay, be right back. So you can just edit that out, Donnie. We'll just join back.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, perfect.
How we run them and what we do with them. So if Kevin here, one of the experts will talk to us about what to do. Okay, so majority of the bikes that we work on, and this is mentioned that we work on here, are WP, whether it's a sport or an airport. Like the airport, or like how the accessibility on the terrain, adding and removing air.
Okay, back in business. Little baby powder. Okay. Then you can start on that thing if you see anything.
Okay.
I do have cool Master Link pliers. You want those?
I got off the good.
You already did it. This cool tool you get like at Napa. And then I just let air out of the tube. And then tire paste all the way around. Okay. Same on. Tire on. I picked it up over the rim lock there. Okay, now I like to flip it over to the other side and make sure, Donnie, can you see in here? Like down in here. So sometimes the tube will get caught on the wrong side, so I'll pull the tire up, push the tube back, just like that. Is that good? Okay, then start over here. Bead Buddy, great little tool to keep the tire in place while you work your way around.
You got me sweating over here just watching.
Okay. I'd have to take a bite for that last one.
So when's the last time you've pinched a tube?
It's happened. Mini tubes are really hard, 50s. I have a hard time with the 10-inch rears with a rim lock. Those have been really tough. And so I have a little, I tried to get a little better system on those, but those are tough.
I know for you it's probably minimal, but is there a difference in changing the tire from like a 33 to a 53 in compound? Do you notice it?
No. But different brands of tires like if I test maybe I don't want to say a lesser tire or whatever that's not as stiff and as strong as a Dunlop, it's really easy. You know, like you get some brands of tires, you're like, whoa, there's no sidewall strength. You ever notice that, Kate?
Yes, I have.
You can just pop them things right on.
And so that would have a tendency to get flats easier, right? Because
Yeah.
that's how it pinches in the sidewall.
It's a way softer tire. Yeah, so I think they would be definitely more susceptible to that. Tires have gotten stiffer with Supercross and Supercross whoops and with 4-strokes.
Are they dual compound?
On the tires, yeah, we do. Okay. Okay, so 12.5. I went a little far. Okay. Okay. So, got a couple done here. Now we're gonna do. Where's the front for that bike? Right there, Donnie. Hand me that one. Okay. And to knock that off, put a little baby powder in. How's it going? Okay, we got that ready to go.
So how often do you recommend if a tube is
Oh, worn?
worn?
So you saw we put the baby powder in there. That does help prevent that. So typically, if I see rust around the core right here, you can kind of see that it's the rust on the nuts compromising it, then you'll want to get rid of it. If it's a bike that we're going to ride a lot, like at Glen Helen, rough tracks, or a trail bike, we'll put heavy tubes in. We have good heavy-duty Dunlop tubes we'll put in. A lot of these magazine bikes are just short-term bikes that these guys are using. We'll just leave the stock tubes in. And for most guys, if they check their pressure before they go out, the stock tubes are fine. Okay. Pop this off. That. All right.
What year did you start working for Dunlop?
So it's about 04 or so. Yeah, somewhere maybe 03, but right in there. And ran Dunlop, of course, before that.
So you'll often go like on practice days to Supercross and things locally and go help change tires?
Yeah, but not too often. They have a really good crew on the pro truck, but like at the first Anaheim or the first Glen Helen National, whatever it was, or Paula, I would go help out on a practice day on the Friday before. But they have a crew that that's all they do, and they do a good job, man. They do a lot of tires in the day. Those guys are really good. Brian's the main guy.
Barnum and Bailey has a clown school. Is there like a tire changing school you go to?
Brian came over here and gave me a little school when I started, and that helped. Okay, so I like to air just about, not about how much air is in there, just barely any air. And then tire paste all the way around, and on the inside lip as well, not just up here, Okay, now, directional tire. So you're one like this, and you can picture how it works and line it up.
Do you have to look at that anymore?
I do sometimes picture it in my head, and I go, okay, and I have a bike right there, and I go, okay, like, right? Is that how you do it, Cade?
Yes,
Swirl your head?
I still have to think about it, swirl my head.
I've also swirled my head. I'm fortunate though, in the last few years, I haven't changed many tires.
Yeah.
I know somebody.
Okay, so they're all popped on here, and then I like to get the tube. Always check that it's over the top of the rim lock. And then again, I'm going to flip it over just to make sure we're good there, which we are.
Do you ever have to do street bike tires?
No, I did I helped, what's his name?
X Games for Supermoto?
We did some of those, and then I did a adventure bike with just recently. Can't remember.
Yeah, he raced it.
Yeah. Dawes, Justin Dawes. We're building one for you.
Yep. You'll be changing Adventure Bike tires here pretty soon.
Then I like to wipe everything off here so you can see, make sure that it's beaded all the way up.
On Supermoto, though, sometimes breaking the bead is tough on those tires.
Yeah. Pop, pop.
Well, even getting the tire off.
Yeah. You have to have a
I had a bead breaker for mine.
Yeah.
They send a Dunlop truck to the road races too, right?
Oh yeah, they get the whole, they do it all. That's a whole different crew. I don't even know those guys. But from what I understand, they do a really good job.
Wasn't Les part of those guys too?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He was a totally good dude.
Okay.
Have you ever changed a car tire, Jay?
No, never had to. ATV tires we've changed, had to. Let's do this front right here.
How did you decide to start making the stand?
I wasn't happy with kind of what was out there, and so there's a guy that had one close that we used, and I liked it, and then we just started modifying it from there. Also, before I forget, I always forget, if guys are shopping on Rocky Mountain, which most guys always get something, right? If you click on our affiliate link, which is in the link tree, or my website, or attached to any of my videos, you can then support our channel. Easy deal. It doesn't cost anything extra. It's a simple deal. Most everybody's familiar with that. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, so knock tire off the bead here. Flip this over.
Does it bother you more when they're dirty?
Yeah, just because it gets the shop dirty and gets my clothes all dirty. Okay, now we're fully off.
When you change tires at Supercross and the Nationals, a lot of times they bring them over dirty, don't they?
Not too much. They're pretty
No?
good. Yeah, they're pretty
I guess I've seen some show up on the car, and I was like, "What's up?"
There's a couple, but the main guys like to yell at you if you do bring them dirt.
Yeah.
I've done it a couple of times.
Okay.
Lost a wrench.
There we go.
Lost an iron.
Now everybody wonders why I have so many.
You send all the old ones back to Dunlop to recycle?
The tires?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now many of these tires we're going to reuse. That's one thing guys ask me. No good tires get touched. We use them on other bikes and fields and things. So right now this bike is going to get this used tire I just pulled off of another one.
Looks cleaner than what you pulled off.
Yeah. Yeah. Cord.
Jay, you should be doing a maintenance podcast.
Guys have the craziest questions, though, man.
They do.
And then they have oddball bikes that I just don't have. An 06 KTM 400 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, we don't have or mess with that certain bike. So if you haven't, that can be difficult trying to troubleshoot or fix some bike you're not familiar with.
Just saying, I know somebody that can produce it. Is there a common question you get, you think, a lot of?
As far as guys having problems with bikes, with KTM's a lot of fuel issues, fuel injector, fuel pump. That tends to be one of the big problems out there that guys have a lot of and want to troubleshoot, which the easiest way to troubleshoot is just to grab a tank from a buddy, swap the tank on your bike and try it. If it solves your issue, then it's your fuel pump. Right, Kate?
Yes.
Also, there's a little inline filter that a lot of people don't even know is there.
I keep that in my fanny pack for off-road.
Right. So you need to change that filter out. If it hasn't gone bad and you have one, you should change it now. And then change it like once a year if it doesn't go out before then. How often do you guys change them, Kate?
I actually don't run them.
You guys don't even run it.
Because we tear our bikes down every single weekend.
Yeah.
So will you replace the injector or clean the injector ever?
I clean the injector every single weekend. Yep.
I made my own kit to clean my injectors.
Okay. Yeah, we're sponsored by Motion Pro.
They have a great kit.
We use their little kit with their pigtail and everything.
Nice.
I made my kit before Motion Pro had one.
I think, yeah, we went over that, huh?
Yeah. I actually took my van to the shop and I put my bike in the back of the van, my EXC, to ride it home.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't start when I got there.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. And then, worse than embarrassing, is I had no ride home.
So you had to Uber?
No, I just stayed there the whole time, and then I put the bike back in the truck, and then
Hung out a day?
hung out. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I learned my fuel injector filter.
There's 3. So we've done 4. 4 so far, for those that are counting. I guess you could throw it on the screen, each one.
We'll do a little counter,
Do
yeah.
one, yeah. Some of them were half tire changes, because I don't count. If I didn't have to take it off in the video, then it's kind of like a cheated. So we could maybe call it a half.
So that's a good question. What's harder, taking it off or putting it on?
Sometimes taking them off, I guess, now that you mention that. And I failed to let the air out. You gotta let the air out. Getting ahead of myself. So rim lock's loose. Always start with the sprocket side up.
Is there a way for you to countenance how many tires you've done in a year?
Yeah, I could probably kind of do some math and kind of figure it out from how many days, but a few hundred, 400 to 500.
You'll change more tires in a year than a person will in a lifetime.
Yeah. Sometimes in a month more than. Because if you just have 1 or 2 bikes, you're not, you're changing 2 or 3 a year.
So what is shootout time of year like for you?
I mean, we'll do 20 tires in a day. But what's harder is taking them off and on the bike. I'll have my kid come out, and Spencer can do a great job of that, or had a couple other helpers that can do a great job of that. And putting tire stickers on, that between that, taking them off and on the bike and tire stickers takes longer than doing the tires.
Right, so how many tires will you do like on an intro day when you have a new tire intro and then you have everybody?
It's not too bad. We don't invite a ton of people, so there might only be like 60 tires. 60.
But most publications show up.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have 1 new tire next year. I can't mention it yet. Next spring, maybe. How cool is that? Cade might know which one. Production.
I do not. I'm out of the loop on all that.
Did you start with a 756 or 739 around when you were changing tires?
Yeah. And 756 was more pliable for sure, like putting it on.
Yeah.
Way easier than the newer tires.
What was the other FAG? What was the 7?
FAG something else.
It was FAG something else. Yeah. No, there was a FAG. There was a 739 FAG for the 4-stroke.
No.
Because they used to change
FA.
FA.
Yeah.
They had the FA for 4-stroke, right?
Yeah. They had made a little update. Donnie, you're gonna get us banned.
Banned for what? I spelled out some letters.
Okay, so tighten that up. I got my core in. Fill up the tire. This is a 120/90, so it's just a little bit fatter tire, like me and Donnie. And we need a few. What do we call these? Stem nuts. I need a few of those out. Okay, so we're gonna move this up real good.
Yeah, when somebody commented when I said the camera adds 10 pounds, they said how many cameras were on you?
Why do you got 5 cameras on you?
5 cameras were on you.
good one. Okay, so that that really helps right there. The extra.
Do you notice the difference between aftermarket and OEM rim locks?
Yeah, some of the Yamaha stock rim locks, I don't. They have an extra foam piece I don't like. I like the regular Motion Pro ones, the rubber ones. Okay. Now we're gonna double check this side. We're good there. Good there. Now we're gonna knock our. You see, when it gets to the rim lock here. Can you see that?
Yep.
See what? Okay.
Are you still getting comments that you're scratching the wheels?
Some guys say that. It's like, man, you guys are crazy. Oh, rim hack was the term. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about?
Well, if they saw a pro wheel, what it looked like from just how much the tire flexes on the rim and wears the side of the rim out, they would believe it.
Yeah, rims don't last fast dudes very long. Right, Kate?
No, we go through wheels like crazy.
And you guys rebuild them a lot? Put new hubs on, new rims on hubs, or what? Or just
We run the same hubs. We run the W hubs, so we don't have any issues.
yeah, and then just put new rims on them.
And we just do rims and spokes.
I remember seeing on Wyndham's bike, the hubs were like 5 years old. They were like old Honda hubs, and they were faded. How do freestyle guys wear out tires compared to motocross guys?
Yeah, freestyle guys really don't do that much. They will only typically wear them out on burnouts.
Well, aren't those ramps sometimes?
Yeah, they're grippy, but they don't ride that much. And so they can go a long time to a lot of shows. They can also run the tire down to next to nothing. They typically run MX 53. Just get it to beat up a little bit more. We might have to. I wanted to do this video straight through, but who knows? I might have to turn the compressor on, and it'll be loud. So we'll see. Okay. So
We're going to have to pause anyway in 3 minutes because the camera's going to shut off at 30 minutes.
So when Donnie has to shut off, here, I'll finish this one up, and then we'll power up the power washer. I promise you I won't take much of a break. So Donnie won't let me, so we'll knock these other 1, 2, 3, 4 out. Or so. I'm going to set pressure. All right, Donnie, go switch your battery. Okay, we are back. Donnie's got his battery swapped out, got the compressor going. So now we are on, is this 6? 6. Okay. This one, tire was already off. Long story there, so we just always have stuff to do. This one needs a new tire on it. Okay, and then I like to start about here.
Even though you leave the rubber band around the center of the tire, is it preferable to put duct tape, or is that
I like to put Gorilla Tape on my own wheels.
Gorilla Tape?
Yeah. Two loops around, and just stay down in that valley. I have some little videos, on Instagram. People have seen showing us doing that. You don't want to come up onto the lip at all of the rim.
Because it hangs the tire up when
Yeah, it's not going to seat down well and move and all that. Okay, so we're pushing on it. Boom. Okay, and then I'm going to tire like that, and then over here, I got the rim lock like this. This is good because this video is showing up. I don't have this style a lot, So just like that, pop that on. And then here, I want to make sure that the tube is over the rim lock. So I'm looking in here like that, making sure that's good. And then I start just a little ways away from the valve stem.
What do you see the biggest mistake guys making when they're changing tires? Too big a bite?
Man, I think not having the right tools and setup. So they're using not spoons like this. These are good, easy spoons. They're using stuff and they're down on the floor on the tailgate of the truck.
I mean, you've seen guys try to change it with long screwdrivers, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this is just all doomed. Like, I really don't even like, I probably hardly ever will do a tire without my proper setup. I just go, no, well, why would I, you know?
Right.
My van always has it in there. If we go riding, like a trail ride, I don't have my van and stuff to change it, I bring extra wheels. I bring one set of KTM wheels, because we usually are on KTM on the off-road stuff, or whatever bike we have, we'll bring an extra set of wheels. And then it's problem solved. And we never need them. Basically, never need them. And
Is an 18 a little bit easier to change?
oh yeah, quite a bit. Okay, so we're all the way up.
Did you ever deal with those 20-inch front wheels that
I
Laraco
liked
ran?
them. Yeah, I liked them. It's a fatter, wider footprint, you know. But our newer 90-100 solved that. A lot of guys don't like the wider rim because it feels heavy. Kind of landings, you know, can feel heavy and fat feeling, and I want to climb out of stuff a little bit. But I like it. But I don't know that it's that big a deal. Okay, this one took a lot of pressure to beat up, so when that's the case, sometimes I'll put my tool in here and then let it bunch out. Okay, so we got 3 more. We got 2 fronts and a rear to do. We're going to work on Yamaha 250 today. Steel frame 02.
01.
01. We thought it was a 99. Okay. That's good right there. Now, I always like to put a cap on. Can you see this well right here? I always like to make sure that guys have their cap against the nut. Right there. Always run the cap against the nut like that, so it gives room for it to move. Good idea there, Donnie. Okay. Rim lock's all loose. Yamaha wheel bearings, you know, they don't have seals on them. Weird. They go out. They go out a lot. But maybe the wheels spin better. I don't know what guys back east do. The Pivotworks ones are sealed.
Who's changing all the tires for the practice bike for all the pros?
Well, they're a practice mechanic, right, Cade?
I do all of mine.
Yeah. And then even on those teams, those guys all have to do them because there's no Dunlop guys going around and doing them, you know. So I'm not sure how they do it at the shop if there's a guy that's doing a bunch, but I think each mechanic's going to have to do their own guy.
Do they have a nice little setup like you, or how do they do it?
You know, I don't know. What do you think, Cade?
I think most guys have their own tire stand, one that they're comfortable on, and everybody that I've seen, they all just have their own band and just do them every day when they get back from the track.
Are you doing all the electric bikes this year? The little
50s. I haven't heard yet. I'm looking forward to that.
That means no.
Last year it was back east, and so Rob Fox did them out of Ohio, which was cool. And he had them down. He's got a little system. Okay, directional tire again. Always pay attention to that. Got it lubed on both sides, and then got that valve stem nut. You see, I put it in my mouth. Probably a bad habit, but
Any idea why developing a directional tire over unidirectional?
Well, I feel like you can get better performance with a front tire, you know, especially on a front, because you know it's only going to be biting and braking one direction, you know. Where a rear, they tend to make them both, and I think because we're mainly more concerned maybe with just acceleration, you know, and it can be flipped, which is nice. I think most people aren't going to flip front tires, you know, to get rid of the braking edge, you know.
What's the ratio usually of front tire to rear in terms of getting worn out?
I think most guys are like you know, regular guys. We're not talking racing.
Regular guys.
Regular guys are probably,
Vet guys.
I would say 2 to 3 rears to a front. You know. But it can be, you know, just as low as 2. But if you want a really high performance tire like an MX3S, which is really high performing, but it doesn't last well. That's one of the ones we just took off a minute ago that was cracking. And it needs to be run in the right conditions. That one can be almost even with a rear tire. But guys like Kiefer and different guys like the performance of that tire a lot. Okay.
Have you noticed off-road guys, do they like using the 52 or 33 over like, or are they kind of mixing different, whatever the conditions
A lot
are?
of them mix, like an 81 rear and a 53 or a 33 front or things like that. So a lot of the GNCC pros and things will mix. And that's something you can do and feel comfortable with. A lot of guys out west here will run a 53 front and a 33 rear because everything's hard packed underneath. And durability is really good on that 53. Okay, so that one's done. Ready for some stickers, some cake. For the Yamaha front. Now we'll knock out this
Down to just 2 more?
Coward rear. How long do you think this video is going to be? How long do you think we're at between the 2 clips?
This is right now getting close to 40 minutes.
Man, I'm really bummed about that. Like,
You thought you could do it in 30?
yeah. But I guess I grossly underestimated a lot of that kind of stuff. Somebody tightened the valve stem nut down on the rim on this thing.
And where did this wheel come from?
Swap Moto Live. Formerly known as Transworld Motocross.
So what's Dunlop's best-selling motocross tire?
That'd be MX33. I like running MX12, you know, like sand scoop tire in the rear.
What's the compound like on that tire?
It wears really well. Like it'll last. We don't really ever chunk it off or tear it up. It'll just wear down nice and even. Sometimes after a while, we have to look at it and go, man, this thing's like over half gone. We don't realize it. It just wears down so nice and evenly.
They run that tire at Southwick?
Yeah. And then a lot of pros will run them at Redbud and different races in that first moto. For sure. Right, Cade?
Yes, and also in a lot of the first qualifiers because they like to soak the track,
Yeah.
and so it's really deep.
That makes them a lot mad when they run them just for the qualifiers, just to get a qualifying. Because you know, like in a lot of sports, there's a qualifying tire, a qualifying. They actually run a qualifying oil, like in car racing.
They run a qualifying engine.
An engine.
Yeah.
Which seems like silly if you qualify, right? Shouldn't that engine be the one that's supposed to race? So if you qualify to a certain speed, then shouldn't that be the same one?
Hey, but look, MotoGP guys,
Yeah.
if it rains, they'll switch entire bikes.
They have a rain bike.
They have a rain bike.
Yeah.
Chad Reed could have used one of those and he'd have won another Daytona.
That's right. When he blew that one up.
Yeah. That bike gave up the ghost.
If he could just pulled over and hopped on another bike, like halfway.
So we had a debate at that time where he ended up getting 7th, right, in that race, even though he DNF'd.
Right.
Should he have gotten 7th if he didn't finish the race?
Yeah, but he did as many laps though, so I have to say that it's good.
Right.
Because he did as many laps as the guy in 8th or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't have moved the guy in 8th ahead of him. You know, that would have been cool. So I think,
Yeah, but there's some forms of racing that actually, once you DNF,
yeah,
right, that they consider that like last,
right.
no matter what.
Yeah,
Sometimes in off-road racing they do that.
Yeah, I'm sure whoever got 8th was wishing he got DQ'd, right?
Right. He also won the championship that year,
Oh,
right? And him and Wyndham were fighting for the championship. That's the year at Houston, he went over the bars or whatever and landed from that tabletop to tabletop, and he came up short or whatever, went over the bars, and he went to the hospital, and then he came back, and he got like, what did he get that night? Like 12th or something like that?
that's great. You got a good memory in this. I don't remember all this.
That's what Payne used to tell me on the show. He's like, man, you remember all that stuff.
Okay. We're going to call this the longest tire changing video ever.
This for sure is, but the problem is that you did 9 tires, or one more and you'll do 9.
Yeah.
And guys will take a complete hour to change a tire.
Right.
Right? I have friends that I've seen them try to change tires, and I'm using the friend word usually, and they took a pair of bolt cutters to the tire to try to cut it off.
Oh.
I had a guy working for me that tried that. Hacksawed it off and everything.
Because he just couldn't get it off.
Because he couldn't get it off. And I'm like, you can't hacksaw that off, man.
There's steel belts in it.
There's still belts in it.
Yeah, beads, and
Yeah.
we've seen them shred before.
Yeah.
When you run them flat. Okay, so now let's go over here. Now this style will help a lot of guys because a lot of the KTM wheels, it's right here. So we go like this and then kind of walk it on like that. Double check that the valve stem is good, which it is on this one.
So why are some of the wheels have the bands over the rim lock and some go under it?
Yeah, so KTM has it there's just a plastic band and it goes on top of it, but it's more of a tape. The rubber bands will go over. If it's a rubber stretchy band, then it'll go over. And I like that style too. Don't seem to have much problem. But if you're racing, I think duct taping it up is probably the best way with some good tape.
Somebody also makes a fiberglass kit to make these tubeless too, right?
Yes.
They did that in Supermoto. And then there were other wheels like Alpina and stuff that were Supermoto, and they had a reverse pull on the spokes.
Oh. That'd be a trip. I think I've seen those when we were at the Supermoto. You remember Supermoto was popular for a day or two.
Yeah, I do remember that, actually, Jay. Don't you remember? We built a couple of Supermoto bikes.
Right.
2 of them. I raced Pikes Peak.
That's a crazy race, dude.
Yeah, they stopped motorcycles.
Yeah. And you think it's done forever?
Yeah.
Just too high a chance of dying.
Well, the Carlin Dunn passed away 2 years ago, and after that, they just said no more.
No more.
And there's been several guys that have died on bikes.
And when the car guys crash, they have a higher chance of making it, right?
They do, yeah.
Cage and all.
Yeah.
But there's even some of those dudes don't make it.
They have had some of those guys that didn't make it.
Right. So it's a really sad deal.
But if you go off that on a bike,
there's little to no chance.
there's not much of a chance. I was friends with the guy that died 3 years ago.
You feel like you were riding it like at 80-90%? You weren't ever going 100%?
There was certainly times that I was looking, I started getting target fixation going, if I went off there, that'd be a problem. I got 4th in my first year of racing.
What was your fastest time going up it?
So I think I did it in just over 13 minutes, I think.
Weren't the fastest dudes just under 10?
Not on a bike, not on a Supermoto bike.
Oh.
So I was on a 450. So there's no matter what, I couldn't pull those hills. The guys that
So you did it like in 13 minutes?
Yeah.
And what are the fastest dudes, like 11, 12?
12, yeah. 11.
And what's the fastest thing ever up there?
They did a sub 9 minute right in there.
And is it all asphalt now?
Yeah, it's all asphalt. So the first year I raced it, it was 50-50. Dirt and asphalt.
Oh.
So,
Do you think it's more cool? Was it more cool like that?
for sure, and much safer, right? Yeah, for sure. You don't have the speeds.
Okay.
You check up in the corners a lot more.
You would think that that would be more dangerous, but I see you could slow down a little bit more,
Right.
more with the gravel. Okay, we got our baby powder in the tube, in the tire. I'm losing steam here with this last one.
Sebastian Loeb did it in 7 minutes and 57 seconds.
What car was that?
That,
Is it a car?
It was a rally car they built specifically
Rally
for it. Yeah, and but those times, you know, he was in a Bentley. But you know, they have over 1,000 horsepower, and the electronics change the fuel mixture as it goes up. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. I have several friends that have raced it on electric bike and electric car. Electric car, they have to run a horn all the way up to the top.
I heard like a siren.
Like a siren. So, because there's spectators all along the course, so they don't know when electric car's coming.
And animals.
And animals,
There's
yeah.
deers crossing, right?
Oh, yeah. Do you ever remember that guy? He was a stuntman, and he ran a Freightliner truck up the mountain. He'd run a truck up the mountain.
Yeah.
I saw him go off the mountain, like right. It was not. It was he was fine, but he definitely chopped some trees down.
Was it only 9?
Yeah, 9.
Okay. I thought like 10.
Well, we had your compressor problem.
Okay, so fix that. Okay. That was only like 5 minutes. Okay. Okay.
You have a complete stand and everything set up in your van, right? You don't have to take any. You don't move anything back and
No.
forth.
And I keep them, and I have a couple here with the smaller diameter for the mini bikes. Yes, my van has one in it.
Do you take the you don't take the mini bike one and stuff with you, right?
No. If mini bike guys hit me up, I tell them to.
Too bad. You got to go home.
Time to go home.
Did you fix the one that broke?
Which one?
Your stand, the mini bike stand.
Dallas did.
Dallas did.
I gotta go get it. Gosh, you drove right by there.
I drove right by there.
Dang.
He wasn't there though. He was up in Big Bear or something.
He did a race this weekend.
He did a race, but then
Oh, he was in Baker?
something like he went into Big Bear. On, what's today? Maybe I'm confusing my days.
Okay, so last one. You heard this tube was really stuck in that other tire. And it didn't have any powder in there. Okay, so shot of air here.
How often are magazine guys changing tires themselves?
Don will. But they all do. They all have guys. But I try to take care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't be there all the time. Okay, and then it goes like this. Okay. Right about here.
The last time I changed a tire, I changed it for Grant because he wanted to go riding one day, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and he goes, "I want to go riding, but I need to change a tire." And I go, "Oh, I'll do it for you." He was still used to his factory stuff.
That's funny. This is before you had the shop?
No, this was like 6 months ago.
He could have had the shop do it.
No, it was late at night.
So he decided after the shop closed.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's pretty silly.
Well, there was something where he goes, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I said, "I'm going riding." "Oh, I want to go, but my tire," or whatever.
I'm surprised you didn't hit me up.
I should have.
I just made him drive up here. Okay.
That would have been a better program for me.
Okay, so got our Tire Paste Pro Buds there. Oh yeah.
What do you think the most tires in a day you've changed?
Probably around 30. It's 35.
You sore the next day?
Yeah, you definitely feel it for sure. At those Dunlop guys, I think on a busy weekend, I think that they can do 35 to 40 in a day.
What do those trucks haul? Like 500 tires?
I think so, maybe a little more. Okay, so all good here. Okay, now we're gonna that is it, Donnie. Let's do a closing here, like as in, that was pretty cool. 9 tires. How long do you think it's going to be? How long was this?
50 minutes.
About 50 minutes. So we're going to call it the world's longest tire change video, but with 9 tires. So that's it. See ya.